Welcome back. Another video for you on some knives which I got from my travels from different countries. Today, Australia. And this knife comes with a little bit longer story of my personal, where I saw that, where I encountered that, and how I got it. I'll tell you that it's not that long of a story, and then we'll look at the knife itself. We'll do a quick comparison of this knife, and is it good, is it bad, should you get one of those? We'll talk a little bit about that. As I said, I try to get different knives from different countries, and I visited a lot of countries, and Australia is one of the places which I actually really liked. I've been to actually Melbourne only a few times, and I think the last time I was there, I was just walking through the street somewhere downtown, don't remember the street names, and I saw like a military store, kind of like a military store, military surplus. They had some knives as well from different manufacturers, and like one of those knives were in display in the window, so you could see that those few knives from this company and something else on a display, and I'm like, wow, what kind of knife is that? And let's take a look. It's an impressive one. And by the way, it's not like an unboxing thing, it's just, I just want to show you how it comes in a box like this. You see the handle, and then you get the knife itself. And it's nothing there, but this is the knife. And as you can see, it's not your traditional regional knife, which I usually collect the most, which I really like the most. I like their traditional style, I like the history behind those, but I gotta have something from Australia. And how cool is that? It says Hardcore Hardware Australia right on the blade. It has this logo. It's like HHA kind of thing here. Comes with a sheath. It's a Kydex, pretty good one, good retention, nothing rattles, good. I can kind of take it in and out and so on. So this is the knife. It's a military, it's like a tactical knife. It's pretty cool. So when I looked at those knives first in Australia, there's a bunch of options. There was different shapes of the blades, some of them black, some of them black or tan, some of them serrated. You can look at their website, Hardcore Hardware Australia, maybe just like as a one word is like airlines. So you can find a website and see different models. So I didn't buy it back then when I was there. It was actually quite expensive, and I didn't buy it then, and I was regretting because I didn't buy one while I was traveling. But later on, I just wanted to get one online. It was quite easy. Just there's no real network of retailers. There are a few of those here and there on a few websites, on eBay, pretty much the same price. So I didn't rush my purchase. And something happened recently. I think they almost either out of business or they restructuring the business. So or they kind of combining their production with their sister brand, which is Half-Breed Blaze. You see, it's the same company, pretty much, just a different brand. They also do military style blades. And by the time I finally decided to get one, actually I got the email saying like, oh, it's a final sale or something like that. So by the time I got to the website, almost all of the options for the different knives were gone. Like black options, those ones with a nicer either straight blade, tanto blade, drop point blade version of those knives, they all were gone. And that's the one which I could get. But to be honest, I got it for half the price. or maybe even less than half the price. And I'll tell you right away what it is. So I think original price on those knives were 155 Australian dollars, and the rate exchange rate fluctuates, but I still think it's quite expensive knife for $155, even being like overbuilt, being super thick, good quality for the knife, good quality for the sheath. It's still expensive, of course, but maybe for that kind of category of the knives, which really should be like a pretty much bulletproof and unbreakable, that maybe that's okay. So maybe professionals who are using them in the field and military or law enforcement applications, they would want hardcore knife, overbuilt knife, super good quality, and so on. So that's my story. I didn't buy it back then. I bought it recently. It was shipped to US from Australia. I think even I've paid maybe even less than half the price for this knife with free shipping. So I'm happy. So let's talk a little bit more about the knife. Before we do that, let me show you what comes with this one. It comes in a box, as you've seen, and they put some goodies here. They promote their new company, give me this kind of sticker, they give me this kind of sticker, kind of like a manual, information guide, patch, really nice one. So let's keep this one here. Let's talk a little bit more what kind of knife it is. So as you can see, it's a pretty interesting shape for the knife. It mostly consists of the like a main body of the knife, full tank construction. This tank goes all the way through the handle, and here we have kind of like a glass breaker. In here, G10 handle, kind of like a with the cutouts for your fingers. Yes, it is pretty good. And your kind of groove for the fingers, so it wouldn't go away. The blade, you see the blade, and as I said, there might be different shapes of the blade. This one is so-called like a talon blade, so it has a different curvature. It has this kind of like a recurve in here. It has a pretty nice point here, and it has a pretty nice point here, pretty sharp. Thick blade. I think it's straight grind, and it's like a saber grind here, and additional bevel to sharpen. Serrations for your thumb. So you can do with this knife, again, it's either utility application or fighting application. So what they say on the website for this knife, that it's not like a primary fighting knife, it's like a secondary knife for the I don't know, for the military or kind of person who's going into the fight. He may have his primary knife, and again, this company makes amazingly like hardcore, scary looking big fighting knives. So there's a primary knife, bigger one, even tougher. I think they make them with the same steel, and just of course the bigger knife, which can be used as a pry bar as well. D2 wouldn't break of this thickness if you use it. And of course, for all kinds of fighting techniques and so on, they had smaller like a piercing knife with the trainers. They have training knives, or they migrated some of those products into hybrid blades. But anyway, so this is supposed to be a secondary knife for the fighter, which, when let's say you don't want to have a folding knife as a secondary knife, somehow it's not tough enough. This one should be tough. This one shouldn't break for you. So you use this one as a fighting knife, and even with this strange blade configuration, it's pretty good. It has this very nice point, so it should be quite easy to poke someone with this, or do some slashes. This recurve will catch material or whatever is getting in the way of that, or even for some utilitarian applications. Cut a bunch of strands of paracord, cut through some material with this. Really nice. And the way it's structured is, as you see, like I'm holding this knife in my hand, but it kind of curves here. So let's say even with the smaller knife, I will get a longer reach if I need to. Let's say if it would curve like in here, even like the point would be here, I would need more reach to get somewhere, but this one is good. So that's the knife. I think they say 4 millimeters or maybe even more. It doesn't even look like 4 millimeters for me. It looks maybe like 6 thickness. It's heavy knife, D2 steel. Comes with a reasonably good edge, but of course requires additional sharpening to be absolutely sharp, and I'm kind of still in the process of making this one. This pommel has a lanyard hole, as you see, which I attached the lanyard in here because I think there's not enough room for like a pinky for me to hold on, so this loop will be nice to have. And also this knife can be held like an opposite wave, like this. Can be like this, yeah, pretty good. Backwards, no. So sometimes in the fighting techniques you may want to use this knife to thrust and then pull. This one, no, because you have a very straight thing here. It just goes into your palm, and it's not, no, you can't use it as like a backwards type of thing. So either you gotta hold it really far from your hand, and then you kind of lose control over this end here. It's not comfortable to hold it. And by the way, this handle is really small, so I'm not sure how they position this thing to be like a glass breaker, because even in my medium size hands it's almost gone. So if I want to, like, holding this knife, break the glass, it just won't hit it. I will hit it with my hand, not with the glass breaker. So that's the knife. Still, I like it a lot. It kind of took a spot of knife from Australia for me. But then, of course, I understand that I may be kind of lying to myself, and they are not at least lying to me. They make those knives in China. Most likely they make them in China in batches, ship them to Australia, add whatever Australian made materials need to be added there, or marketing stuff, and then they ship them from Australia. But it's designed and tested in Australia. It has Australia here on the blade, so it is kind of filling that spot in my collection, a knife from Australia. But what would be a traditional knife from Australia? Boomerang? Maybe. Yeah, I have one. It's not even somewhere on a shelf with my other knives, but made in Australia, of course, for tourists as a souvenir, but it's not something serious. So before I kind of finish this video, let's quickly make comparison of this knife to some other knives, so you kind of better understand where it fits in general, and so you may decide for yourself. By the way, they're still available, I think. A couple options are still available on the website. If they will be gone by the time you see this video, they may be gone. Take a look at this company if you like military and tactical stuff. So first of all, when I was saying like a full size knife for the military, it's gonna be something like this. I don't have a lot of tactical or military knives. I just only have a few, but you'd see the difference, right, in a blade length, in a handle length, and the style of the blade. This one's pretty thick too. but this one's thicker, and this one even looks more mean. So yeah, so that's what it is. So that would be, let's say, primary knife, which would be also pretty good for fighting or for some utility field applications. And of course it will be attached somehow to your vest or belt or whatever, like this guy as well. So that's what it is. But in terms of like comparing this knife to a few others in my collection, which would be somewhat similar size and characteristics, so this one, which is more like a neck knife, but also D2 steel, Ka-Bar and Esse collaboration. I think it's called BK24. Also D2 steel, as I said. This was one of my small tough knives, which I really liked. That's probably because I like this knife. That's why I like this one knife this one as a concept of somewhat like a backup blade, which will not fail. So this one should not fail as well, being like a super thick and hard steel and very simple handle construction. And by the way, both of those knives, they would support just paracord wrap. This one comes naked. I just had to buy those scales. I used to have and carry this knife with a paracord wrap, and I liked it. But just scales feel a little bit bigger for the handle, and you see similar thing. So I need this extra knot here just to control the knife better if I want to do something. It just holds on nicer here. So this one, and of course you can compare, just a size comparison kind of thing, to your paramilitary 2. And as you see, in terms of blade length, it's even smaller than PM2, but kind of have this G10 and a little bit overbuilt type of styling in here with all those different finger grooves and jimpings and things like that. So that's a story, that's a knife. And again, as I said, if you know a good knife maker from Australia, recommend me. I would love to buy one and be more genuine Australian made knife, but so far this one should do it for me. One more time, thank you for watching. Hope you find it interesting, and I'll keep posting the videos, keep doing those records of my collection and my travels and my impression on the knives and what's behind those knives, what's the history and culture and engineering kind of elements and technical elements in there. And by the way, this one would be so at the moment the only knife with this shape of blade, recurve talon shape of blade. It's not even sheep's foot, it's specific. So this one would be a good example to keep in the collection. All right, one more time, thank you, bye, and have a good year, good month, stay healthy.